I'm Douglas Manyunyi. I work with Equilibrium, a company that is advocating for environmental conservation. We do our activities that are aligned towards conserving our environment. This includes, like now where we are, we have this farm where we did plant a number of eucalyptus trees, and time has come for us to do some spacing through thinning, and this is the activity that we are doing together with my colleagues here. As you can see, the process has already started. This is our second day of harvesting. The key reason why we are doing this is because we want to have fewer but healthy trees. So basically we are doing some kind of liberation through thinning so that the few trees that will remain in the farm are of good quality and healthy. So we look at a number of factors as we do the thinning. One being the quality of the tree. Secondly, looking at the health of the tree. So when we find some that are of any show of sickness, we cut them down so that they can leave enough space for the rest to grow into bigger trees that could be of commercial viability. So at the moment we are doing our first thinning. It will be followed by our second thinning later on, maybe in 2 years time, so that we end up having good and quality trees at the end of the day. A majority of the trees we are having here are the eucalyptus trees, the salignic species. So in between there is some undergrowth of few exotic and a number of indigenous trees. So as we are doing the thinning again, we are factoring in having these more indigenous trees remaining in our farm so that they can coexist with the few eucalyptus that we are going to leave in the farm so that we can harvest later on for commercial purposes. We are now at the point where we are, in the meantime, storing our harvest. So we have categorized our harvest into 3 based on the size of the tree harvested. So from where I'm standing, most of these we have are at the level of rails, general rails that somebody can use maybe in construction, especially the mud houses and so on. We have the other side, we have trees that are a bit bigger than the rails here. So from the ones on the other end, the bigger ones, we can get some posts on the lower part of the stem, while the upper part can also work as kind of rails. So we have done this now, and we are still doing the harvest from the Equilibrium farm where we are. So just like I said before, we are doing our first thinning so that we can give space to the more healthy trees to expand in size and have more value commercially in future. So the thinning will continue with time, maybe in 2 or 3 years time to come again for our second thinning, basically for purposes of having healthy trees. So we are doing this again to have commercial viability of the trees that are remaining in our equilibrium farm. So these ones are ready for market, and we are going to look for people who are going to buy them so that we can also have some cash to support our activity here at the farm. Then we have a small amount of bigger ones, the ones that look a bit bigger than the initial ones we have talked about, which are already, as they appear, they are already posts. They are already posts that have been cut off from some of the bigger trees that have been harvested.
Bad.
As we are doing the harvest again, we are considering a situation whereby these trees might, the stumps might regrow because of the favorable weather conditions. So for this reason, we are also doing a follow-up to uproot the stumps of the cut trees so that we avoid the coppicing or the regrow of the parts of the stump. So as we can see here, we have done a number of uproot of those stumps, the remaining stumps, so that these actually do not grow again in future. Yeah.